All right, well, thank you for coming on. This is going to be a short, fun little class. I would like to say that most of my classes are fun because oils are fun. As simple as that. So my name is Julie Baumsberger, and I am with doTERRA. I'm an essential oil educator. I'm a wellness advocate. I have a team of people who like to share oils along with me. And it just means that I get to connect with the right people who are ready to introduce natural ways of healing their families into their life, and also just to help inspire them and help them move along wherever they need to go or whatever they need to be improving. And hopefully that sounds like you. So I do have some notes that I like to follow. If you see me glancing from time to time, it's only so that I stay on track, so I don't get carried away with a topic and end up going too long. So I'm here to teach you a few very basic essentials about essential oils, why I love doTERRA, and how I use some of our most popular oils. I said I would pick my top 10, but I've actually got 12 plus 2 in front of me here, so I'll go through them very quickly. And then I'll wrap up by taking any questions and letting you know how you can get them into your home if you're interested in any of the oils that I've shared. So what are essential oils? People often are confused about that. Basically, they are volatile aromatic substances, which means you can smell them. They don't last forever, that scent, that come from different parts of plants. So they can come from the roots, from the flowers, from the stem, from the leaves, from the seeds sometimes. In the case of frankincense, it comes from the resin of the tree. And they just work in harmony with us to support our body systems in a way that our bodies naturally recognize because they come from plants. So for thousands of years, our bodies have recognized plants and know what to do with them when we use them with our bodies. When they're sourced for purity, as doTERRAs are, they're potent and very powerful. You don't need to use a lot. And they're also therapeutic grade if they are doTERRA oils. That means that they work not only by smelling nice, but they work on a cellular level to help our bodies. They're sourced and harvested. Oh, here comes somebody else. I think that's also you, Karen. They're sourced and harvested in their natural habitat. So everybody knows that the best lavender in the world comes from France or from Bulgaria. So doTERRA's oils are sourced in those countries. So they have pure distillation practices, which means they're steam distilled. Our citrus oils, they use a cold press method. So they take the peel of the citrus fruit and cold press them. That's where the citrus oils come from. And they have really, really thorough testing practices. doTERRA also uses something called co-impact sourcing, which means they farm responsibly. They work with growers and harvesters, and they support the whole community without taking advantage of them. They help them with their farms, but they also pay them timely and without the middlemen. And they also help them, as I said, agronomically to learn how to harvest in a better way. All those things. So that's what we support when we buy from doTERRA. So why do I love essential oils so much? So I shared a story this morning in my Facebook page, and I have a very real connection with the oils. I've always loved plants, and I love that they are safe, natural alternatives. I love our doctors, as I said in my video this morning. We need acute care, but when it comes to being able to do things on our own, essential oils are a great thing to reach for. They're very easy to use, and it's a first line of defense. So if you wake up in the middle of the night and you need something, you don't have to run out to a drugstore to get it. You probably already have something in your home. So as far as how we use essential oils, there are 3 different ways: aromatically, topically on top, or internally. We have a super way to remember how to do them. So whenever you feel like you need to take a deep breath, like an emotional shift or change, that's when you need to smell them. So aromatically. So whenever you're trying to address changing how you feel about something, smelling them is going to be the best way to get that kind of response. You can smell them out of the bottle. I'm going to be showing you how I like to smell my oils. We can also use essential oils internally when we want to shift our whole body. So if you're working on improving your whole body's immune system, you can take them internally. If you want to change your metabolism, for instance, we have a wonderful metabolic blend called Slim and Sassy or Smart and Sassy. Taking that internally is going to boost your whole body metabolism. And of course, applying them topically on top of our skin, whenever you have a specific spot that hurts, that's when you're going to be using them topically. You can put oils right onto your stomach if you have a stomach upset. If you have any tension in your neck or your shoulders, you can dilute the oils and apply them topically there. So just basically, whenever you have a specific area that hurts, that's where you're going to be able to put the oils on topically. So I'm going to go through, as I said, the top favorite oils. And I'm just going to grab them out of my box in random order, so you'll see that I do really have a connection with all of these oils. All right, so let's see what I come up with first. So lavender, okay. Lavender, what's my gateway oil? When I first started using essential oils many years ago, lavender was the first oil that I tried, and many people are familiar with lavender. And this is an oil that can be used all three ways. So when we smell lavender, it's very calming, very grounding. A lot of people like to use it before they go to sleep. You can add a few drops of lavender to a little spray bottle and spray your room. You can spray your cushions, your nightgown. You can apply it anywhere. For help with sleep, actually putting a little bit on your finger and rubbing it on the bottoms of your feet, and specifically your big toe, is going to really help calm down, relax your mind. Topically, it can also help calm things down. I love to work in the kitchen, and if I am doing something with the oven and burn myself, it's always the first thing I do is to run cold water over whatever I burn, usually my hands or my fingers, and then I apply lavender straight into the bottle onto it. It's wonderfully supportive for skin. I love using it in my coconut oil that I put on my face in the morning. It's wonderful for that. And then internally, lavender has that same calming effect. If you add a drop of lavender to your tea in the evenings, it can be really nice just for calming down and soothing your system. So also keeps insects away. Just wonderful, wonderful for so many things. I actually use it in the kitchen as well, not just for burns, but when I make my blueberry jam every summer, I make this blueberry lavender jam, and I actually put some of the lavender buds and a drop or two of lavender oil in it. So lavender. Okay, I think I will intentionally pick the next two oils, and the next one is lemon, which is also a fantastic, fantastic oil. It's one that I use every single day. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is to put get a glass of warm water, and I put 1 or 2 drops of lemon oil in there. Lemon is a natural, it just cleanses. It's a natural cleanser, and that works on all levels. So if you are putting a drop of it in your water, it's going to naturally and very gently help cleanse your liver, your kidneys, your whole body. It also helps keep your body more alkaline as opposed to acidic, even though it is, we think of lemon as being an acidic fruit, which it is, but it has an alkaline reaction. Smelling it, it's the oil of focus. So if you're ever having trouble with something focusing, lemon is one of the oils that I like to use, and you can just smell it out of the bottle. It's wonderful that way. It's a natural solvent, which is why lemon and orange, all citrus fruits, when you think about the furniture polishes that we used to have from as early as the 70s and 80s, lemon is great. So whenever you have anything sticky, you take a sticker off, a label off something that you've purchased, you can just put a few drops of lemon oil on it, let it sit for a few seconds, and rub it right off. So I would recommend testing it on a little spot first, but it's wonderful at taking stickers off. Diffused, it's really bright and cleansing, but it's also great if you've been frying fish. You can put it in the diffuser, and it does help clean the air quite nicely. How else do I use lemon? Those are the main ways of using it. The next one would be peppermint then, because lavender, lemon, and peppermint are doTERRA's introductory trio that you can do 50 different things with these oils. So I just wanted to go over these first. Peppermint, peppy peppermint. So many things. Okay, first thing, let's smell it first. So peppermint, when I smell this, it instantly makes me feel more alert. So if you're ever getting tired or groggy, putting a little bit of this just on your finger like this. Now, I do recommend usually diluting peppermint if you're applying it topically to your body, but I know that it can be a little bit tingly on the skin, but I know I don't have that experience. So another way, if you just want to feel, this is a great way of using our oils aromatically. And I'm just going to put 1 drop of peppermint in my hands like this. I'm just going to rub my hands together and just smell them. So if I smell them with my nose, I am really wide awake. This is a great trip if you have any long distance driving, if you're doing a Zoom class and you're drifting off, hopefully not this one. This is going to be a great way of staying awake. And then you can just apply what's there over your neck. It'll just help release any tension that you might have there. If you have any kind of stuffiness in your nose, in your chest specifically, you can just breathe it with your mouth and you will feel that cleansing right in your lungs right away. And it's just a great way to expand that. Peppermint's great for tummy aches. You can put a drop in a glass of water. You can put a little bit on your fingertip and rub it over your belly. Let's see, peppermint. It's also emotionally the oil of a buoyant heart, which means these are stressful times, right? And if you need to help raise up, hey Jackie, if you need to raise up your how your heart feels, if you're feeling a little bit heavy-hearted, peppermint is a great oil for just helping lift our spirits. I like it for that. So I've just covered lemon, lavender, and peppermint. I'm going through my top 10 oils plus a few extras.
All right, thank you.
Okay, the next one I'm picking randomly here. Oh, easy air. So speaking of easy breathing, and certainly last year has been all about supporting our respiratory system with everything that's happening globally. Easy air is one that we only use aromatically, like this. We can put it in a diffuser, or we can put it in a diffuser, as I said, and enjoy it that way. Or you can also dilute it and apply it over your chest. I love this one before exercising. My husband's significantly taller than me, and when we go hiking sometimes I get out of breath, and applying this or just using it out of the bottle, having it on my hands, applying it over my chest just does open up your airways really nicely. A story that I want to share is that my father has COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder, and he likes Breathe Easy Air comes in a lozenge form as well. And when he uses those lozenges, it supports his breathing so much that he does not need to use his puffer. And it just really helps open up his breathing. So we had a really stinking hot summer, and using those Breathe lozenges was really nice. But when it's really hot and sticky, I like to diffuse this at night as well. It just helps clear the air, make it a little bit easier to breathe. And it's also really good for any kind of anxious feelings. You know, when we get anxious, we tend to hold our breath and take all this shallow breathing. So Easy Air or Breathe. So it's called Easy Air in Canada, and it is called Breathe in the US.
Okay.
So fantastic. It's one of our top 10 oils. Copaiba is the next oil that I just picked. Copaiba is also a very calming, relaxing oil. It comes from the resin of a tree that's grown in Brazil. This is how I use it. Every night before I go to bed. 2 drops under the tongue. It has a little bit of a smoky taste. It is approved for internal use, but Copaiba calms my nervous system down really, really well. It's also great because it calms down. It's great for any kind of inflammation in your body. Whenever I put together oils to apply over sore muscles, I love using Copaiba for that. It doesn't really have a distinct aroma. It's easily overpowered by other oils, but sometimes I do put it into my diffuser with other grounding oils. So it's really beautiful. But I picked Copaiba to talk about today because with all of the stress going on, for me, this is one of the oils that I really love using. The other one that relates to stress is our stress blend, which is adaptive. This is a blend of floral oils. It has mint oils in it, has grounding oils in it. And this was developed by doTERRA a year and a half before this big global event. And thank goodness. It is incredible at how quickly it works to help calm down all those anxious feelings, and we can use it so many different ways. So it's not meant, the oil is not meant to be used internally. There is an adaptive supplement that you can use to support that, but I love it straight into the bottle. Sometimes I'll just put a drop or two in my hands and use it that way. It also is fantastic if you make up a little roller bottle. So this is what I mean by a roller bottle. It's just you would take an empty glass bottle like this, you would put 10 or 15 drops of adaptive in it and fill it up with any kind of carrier oil. We like to use fractionated coconut oil. And then when you have a diluted solution like that, you can apply it throughout the day. There have been times where I walk around with this in my pocket, and I will just, with the roller bottle, I will just roll it on over my arms like this and just smell it throughout the day. Sometimes you can apply it to your collar, and it's wonderful to be able to smell that aroma. As I said, there is a supplement that has adaptive, that's part of the adaptive kit that's wonderful for stress. So I've heard incredible things about this. I have a lot of personal stories with adaptive, how it's helped me through some really tough spots, but I've also heard of families with children that have short attention spans, that have trouble learning. Certainly for anybody just really freaking out with everything that's going on. Americans had the election, so a lot of stress around that on both ends. So just a wonderful, wonderful oil. You can blend this with other oils. So you could blend this with lavender if you like, or blend it with any other oil. It's nice on its own, but it's great to be blended as well. Wild orange, this is my happy oil. Wild orange is happiness in a bottle. I have yet to meet somebody who doesn't smile when they smell wild orange. It can be used all three ways. Aromatically, when you smell it, brings a smile to my face. Emotionally, it's the oil of abundance. So this is why it's so wonderful for using with children when you're looking for something to diffuse when they're going to bed. Children often have this fear of missing out, FOMO they call it, right? So children are always worried, oh, I'm going to miss something if I go to bed. When you diffuse wild orange, it helps support those feelings so that they don't feel, it's the oil of abundance, so they don't feel like they're going to be missing out. It puts them in a happy mood, and lots of success stories for using wild orange at bedtime. Internally, oh my gosh, I use this in the kitchen all the time. Sometimes I use it instead of lemon in my water in the mornings, but it's wonderful for flavoring anything from salad dressings to muffins to loaves that you make. Fantastic and approved for safety in the kitchen and internal use. I don't usually apply this topically too much unless it's part of an emotional kind of blend that I've made up for myself. Because I'm talking about some of my favorite things, peppermint and wild orange together, they're kind of like the signature doTERRA duo. If you diffuse these together in the morning, I love doing that because peppermint wakes everybody up and the wild orange puts them in a good mood. So these together in a diffuser are wonderful, or just putting a drop or two of each in your hands and just smelling it is, it's a great thing to do before you have your coffee if you're waiting for your coffee to get made in the morning, but it's just a really, really great combo. On Guard is our immune blend. This is a combination of 5 different oils, including, let's see if I can remember them off the top of my head. So there's wild orange, cinnamon bark, rosemary, eucalyptus, and one more, wild orange, cinnamon. Cinnamon bark, wild orange, eucalyptus, rosemary, and there's one more that I'm missing, clove, of course. So because of the clove, it always reminds me of Christmas. This is our immune support blend, which I have been using all the time, whether it's viruses or bacteria or anything that might be stressing out our immune system. You can use this in a glass of water. You can add a drop or two of it to your water bottle. You can diffuse it to clean the air. You can apply it topically to the bottoms of your feet. Again, if you're going to be using an oil topically, I like to dilute them with a little bit of oil. So, and it just makes it handier as well. If you were to apply an essential oil just to your skin, Remember I said it's a volatile aromatic compound, which means it will naturally start evaporating off your skin. But if you put a carrier oil, it helps your skin absorb it, it helps it bind, and it's easier to cover large areas. So if I had sore muscles somewhere, when I use them diluted, it's easier to spread 1 or 2 drops over a much larger area. So On Guard, everybody should have this in their home. doTERRA features On Guard in a lot of its products. We have it in our toothpaste, we have it in my hand cleaner, we have a hand sanitizing mist. We now have hand wipes, which are fantastic. Have you tried the handy wipes yet, Jackie? Yeah, so those are really great. I gave them to my in-laws when they traveled to Florida, just to wipe down everything in the plane. Laundry detergent, great immune support. Digest Zen is another blend from doTERRA that I love. It's got a combination of oils that support your digestive system. They've just reformulated this, so a little bit more cardamom in it now. I always smell the fennel and the anise. It has peppermint as well. Everything to soothe the tummy. Again, you can just take a little bit of it, rub it over your stomach, or I like to just put 1 or 2 drops in a little glass with some water and chase it back. In desperation, once coming back from a family function where I ate way too much, I just put a drop or 2 under my tongue, and instant relief, very quick relief. I am going through these quickly because I want to leave time for some questions. Oregano and tea tree I consider these a pair. So oregano oil, many people have heard that oil of oregano is great for any kind of antiviral, antifungal stuff. Anybody who has issues with candida, oregano really supports helping your body heal from that. But for me, it's whenever I start to get, we all have that little tell that indicates that we're starting to feel under the weather. Either it's a scratchy throat, or we just have that feeling and we know, uh-oh, I feel like I'm coming down with something. The first thing I do is I grab my oregano, I grab my tea tree, and I often will grab my On Guard as well, but these 2 for sure. And I will put 1 or 2 drops of these into a little veggie capsule down the hatch every 3 hours. Or you could just do a roller bottle with some of these 2 oils in it and start applying them to the bottoms of your feet every 2 hours. The reason I use a vegetable capsule is I find the oregano is a very harsh, it's very potent. It's not like a lot of the oil of oregano that I've bought at a health food store before. It is a very potent, pure product. So I like to blend it either with an essential, you could use MCT oil as well, or put it into a spoon of coconut oil. And it just makes it gently on your tummy when you use it that way. But oregano is great for anything to do with the skin, as is tea tree. Oregano is a hot oil though, so if you are applying it to your skin, it's always very important to make sure you dilute that with some carrier oil. But it's very effective in dealing with any kind of warts on your body, any growth on your body. Tea tree oil is the oil that you pull out whenever there's anything nasty on your face. So whether it's acne, a lot of people are starting to get pimples and things happening from wearing a mask for a long time. If you're wearing a mask, a lot of humidity, tea tree is really great for just supporting your skin for all of that. If you have any kind of fungal issues, athlete's foot, my father-in-law had that, and a few summers ago I just made up a little bit of a blend and it helped get rid of it. You can just spray that into your shoes. Tea tree is great for killing any kind of fungus and on contact pretty much. It also has a lot of emotional properties, but I won't get into that today. And then we have my absolute favorite oil of all time, and that is, you already know what it is, Jackie, I'm sure, frankincense. So frankincense, we have the saying in doTERRA, when in doubt, get Frankie out. And to me, it is a very grounding, balancing oil. When I grew up, frankincense was always used as incense in our church. So to me, it's a very good connection to that. But frankincense truly is the oil. If you're not sure what to use, frankincense. It's fantastic for cellular repair. So you can put a drop under your tongue. It's great for the skin. I use it on my face every day. I make up a blend with coconut oil with some of my favorite oils, and frankincense is always there. So you can use it aromatically just to help ground you. You can use it internally for cellular repair, and you can use it topically for anything, whether you have a cut, a burn. I had pain from, I had a hot spot on my foot when we were going backpacking years and years ago, and just putting a little bit of frankincense on it. Frankincense is really good for calming any kind of discomfort and pain in your body. At the same time, when we were hiking, Mary ended up having a blister on her toe, and she just put a few drops of frankincense over it, covered it with a bandage, and in the morning the blister was gone and the skin was healing really nicely. So frankincense really is a multi-purpose oil. People always say, oh, it's so expensive. 40 cents a drop. That's all it is. I'm worth 80 cents on my face every day. I don't go out for coffee, so the way I look at it, when you figure out cents per drops, it really is not. It's worth every penny. So those were the top 12. I went through them very quickly. If you have any questions, feel free to either put them in the chat, Karen, or you're welcome to unmute yourself. Okay, I'm sorry, here. Yes, Karen, so you had a question. I follow the mystical medium and he discourages using air fresheners or scented candles. Oh my Lord, yes, he's absolutely right. I am assuming the essential oils diffused are not caustic to the liver. Absolutely correct, yes. And can adaptive be taken internally? The adaptive oil blend that I showed cannot be taken internally, no. But there is an adaptive supplement that I can share that information with you privately if you'd like. And the supplement is fantastic. You can use the adaptive oil on its own, or you can use the adaptive oil plus the supplement. For stress, it's amazing. This morning I did a video on but the fact that it's 5 years since our daughter had been in a car accident, and some of the oils that we used on her to help specifically with sprains, and because it's that anniversary, I always think of these oils. So lemongrass, if you ever have, you can use this internally, aromatically, topically. So internally, lemongrass is great for any kind of high blood pressure. You can use it in the kitchen for any kind of Thai cooking, but lemongrass also topically is fantastic for ligaments and sprains. So I mixed this together. At the time we had white fir, which is no longer available. doTERRA is now using Siberian fir, which is much more sustainable to be using for distilling. So lemongrass, Siberian fir, and frankincense are what I rubbed over her ankle every single day, a few times a day, and fantastic. If you ever sprain your ankle or pull a muscle, any kind of ligament specifically. So when a lot of people have, servers or people who are lifting heavy things, when you pull those ligaments, lemongrass is amazing for that. It's very powerful emotionally as well. Won't get into that today. And then the other oil that I think of very much on this day is one that really helped me out, not so much Natalie. And I was in Peru when our daughter was in her accident, and I contacted my dear friend Mary Malner, and she said, what oils do you have with you right now to help? And I shared that I had this blend that's called Forgive. Lord knows why I packed this to go on a holiday with my husband, because we do get along. We love traveling together, but there was something that made me pack this with my oils. And when I went through all my list of oils, Mary said, did you just say you have Forgive? And I said, yes. And she said, have you forgiven yourself for not being there for Natalie right now when she needs you, when she's in the hospital? And I'm ready to start crying now, because I realized that I hadn't. As a parent, being so far away from our daughter when she was hurt so badly, it was really hard to forgive myself, that it would take us a couple of days to get there. So using forgiveness for others is why a lot of people use this to forgive others for doing, if you're upset with somebody, using Forgive is really good, but it was also very great for me to be able to forgive myself. So whenever you are hard on yourself right now, as people's nerves are heightened and people sometimes blurt out things they don't mean, just dealing with everything that's going on, a lot of stress going on these days, forgiveness is an oil that is really beneficial for dealing with those emotions. And I think, having tipped into this, I'm going to be doing a lot more Zoom classes, and I will be doing a class just on our emotional oils, just to talk a little bit more about them, give you all the names of the essential oils that are inside there, to learn a little bit more. But that's it in a nutshell. I mean, using these oils is as simple as just putting a drop on something, or when I talk about diluting them with other carrier oils, it can be something as simple as getting a little bit of coconut oil, or just anything that will help dilute it. Now, I just realized that I've done something, so I forgot to mention something. When you get an essential oil in your eyes, which somehow I think I touched one of the lids and I got some in my eyes. So when you get essential oils in your eyes, you do not want to splash them with water. Water and oil don't mix, and doing that is going to end up driving the oil further into your skin. What you want to do is either get some more carrier oil, or if you have any kind of hand lotion, you can just put that on and it'll help dilute it. All right. So fortunately, it wasn't a big deal, but I have been driving. So I talked about using peppermint for staying awake. I once put some on and inhaled it. I got some in my eyes as I was driving on the highway, so like on a freeway. And I thought, oh my Lord, now what? I don't have any carrier oil with me in the car, but I did have some of the unscented hand lotion, and I just used that around my eye, and it helped dilute it. Obviously, it won't do anything inside your eye, but just applying it around. So we never put essential oils into our eyes or our ears. Those are two big no-no areas. We never do that. All right, so if you have any more questions, Karen, do feel free to private message me, or you can leave a comment now. Jackie, how about you? Did you learn anything new, different today that I know you've attended a lot of my classes and things, so I'm always grateful to see you on, but.
It's always a reminder. It always
Yeah.
reminds.
Yeah, that's what I thought, that I know there are a lot of people who have the oils, and sometimes we're just reminded of new ways of using them. So Karen, I'm not sure if you're using essential oils yet or not, but there are, I'm pretty sure if you are the Karen that I'm thinking of, you're friends with Yana, so she can look after you. But if anybody else is watching this video, doTERRA does have lots of options. The oils that I mentioned today, most of them are included in a home essentials kit or a healthy essentials kit. So they're all grouped together for you. Some come with diffusers. If you're only interested in one or two of the oils, it's just a matter of getting a wholesale membership so you can purchase at 25% off for a whole year. Yes, you have many oils. Excellent, excellent. If you have any questions, as I said, do feel free to ask. Yeah, I think that's short and sweet. I've only been on for 35 minutes, so that's good. Thanks so much for joining, Jackie and Karen as well.
Thanks for the reminders.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you.
Bye-bye, Julie.
Bye, Jackie.